Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and big news, Disney Plus just announced that they're not only delaying Black Widow, but they're going to put it on Disney Plus the same day as its theatrical release. However, it will be Disney Premium Access, so you have to pay the $30 or whatever they're going to charge for you to get it if you don't want to go to the theaters. But this is massive news. I was literally just posting a video about the fact that Regal was opening their theaters in April, and it seemed like all was good. But now Disney just changed the story massively because this is big news, guys. All right, so let's break down what all this means and what's happening to the state of the movie theaters, as well as what Disney has decided to do moving forward. They are planning to move Cruella and Black Widow to debut in Disney Plus and in theaters as they shift the dates for 7 of their films. I know most of you are curious about Black Widow, so let's start there first. So they've overhauled the entire slate, it says. Notably, Black Widow and Cruella will now premiere on Disney Plus at the same time they open in theaters. Cruella is arriving as scheduled on May 28th, while Black Widow has been pushed back 2 months and will debut on July 9th instead of May 7th. Both titles will be offered on Premier Access, which comes with a $30 rental fee. The scheduling shift for Black Widow means that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which was previously set for July, was bumped back to September 3rd. Ugh. It's expected to have a traditional release theatrically. So it sounds like they're just going to do this throughout the summer. Disney does not have faith in the theatrical releases this summer, which is sad because it seemed like things were going good. In fact, before I get to the other Disney releases, it seemed like things were going good because Warner Brothers just made a theatrical deal with Regal Cinemas to reopen in April. Regal is opening in April. However, part of the deal was because HBO Max did sort of the day-and-date release. They were like, all right, well, fine, but in 2022, you must give us the exclusive window for 45 days theatrically in the U.S. And so they agreed. And so while Regal will be showing Warner Brothers films in theaters starting in April, in 2022, they will have to stop doing that day-and-date release with HBO Max, and they'll have to be in theaters for 45 days exclusively. This is something Paramount Plus also negotiated with AMC. They made a deal for 40, or was this AMC? I guess they didn't announce who the theater was. Who did they actually? Did they actually announce who? Who made this deal with the theaters? I'm curious. Anyway, so they're going to be playing 45 days. Yeah, they didn't say who. I guess all the theaters just agreed. It's interesting because they didn't announce which theater chains sort of agreed. This is sort of the deal that they've put out there. And I guess the theaters are going to agree, it seems. But Mission Impossible 7, Quiet Place 2 will stream on Paramount Plus after 45 days in theaters. So they sort of were like, that's what we're doing, theaters. Do you want it or not? And now with Regal agreeing to terms, it seems like 45-day window will be the future. So I was curious how Disney was going to handle this. And so now Disney, I mean, this is going to bum a lot of fans that Black Widow has now been delayed again. But it seems like this is a date they're going to stick to. And now they want to own the summer, July 9th in theaters. And to be safe, I think they're like, look, the reality is I know a lot of people are like, this could be really bad if things aren't actually as safe as they think. And so many people are going to theaters. This could be bad news. But what's to say the difference between May and July? Who knows? It's weird. Nobody really knows what's going on. That's what's so frustrating. All we know is theaters are opening, and I guess they're hoping they'll be more open at more capacity, and that's maybe behind the reasoning here. But there you go. It's getting delayed, and it'll be Premier Access because I think they want to be safe. I'm still really torn on this. What does this mean? Do they think they don't have faith in it? What do you guys think? I want to hear your comments down below in the comments because I sense this is just them playing it safe. They got to play safe because I think they'll get a lot of backlash from people putting such a huge movie strictly in theaters, which is what the plan was. And so I think this is Disney thinking ahead and trying to avoid that backlash, if we're being honest. I think that's what the move was. Still, I'm surprised they didn't just do it in May. Why not just release it in May? And I'm assuming they're like, look, let's just buy ourselves a couple more months because we want that theatrical money. Raya did not do well, but Raya's not Black Widow, Disney. Come on. And so that's probably part of the thinking. Cruella, they're not moving. They're keeping that the same, but they know, all right, let's let for the next few months as we release these movies and experiment, let's make sure at least there's an option at home where we can try and make some revenue as well and not get dinged in the press or by people that were a danger by opening these movies theatrically. Beyond that, they also made some other big news. So Cruella and Black Widow will premiere Disney Plus with their premiere access. Cruella is arriving as scheduled on May 28th. Black Widow has been pushed to July 9th. Shang-Chi has been now pushed to September 3rd. But theatrical release. Now, Pixar's Luca won't play in theaters, apparently. Instead, it's only going to launch exclusively on Disney Plus for no extra fee on June 8th. That's strange. Doesn't look... I guess they did well with Soul. They realized that was a big driver for views, and they realized we have to have a couple of these movies come. But to know that they're putting their original Pixar movies strictly to Disney Plus is weird to me. But that they must have had faith in Soul to just do it again in Luca. Why not offer the fee? Strange to me. Numerous others were postponed. Free Guys moved to August 13th. I think they have faith in this movie. That's why they keep pushing this back. This movie could be really, really fun, and this movie feels like a big theatrical movie. Unclear whether these will be on demand as well. But Free Guy, The Kingsman prequel, Deep Water, Death on the Nile, all being pushed till later. Chairman Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution says the announcement reflects our focus on providing consumer choice and serving the evolving preference of audiences. Yeah, this is them playing it safe, in my opinion. By leveraging a flexible distribution strategy in a dynamic marketplace that is beginning to recover from the global pandemic, we will continue to employ the best options to deliver the Walt Disney Company's unparalleled storytelling to fans and families around the world. Movie theaters are now starting to reopen. Capacity, though, is 25%. 100 people per auditorium in LA, 50 per New York. So that's also clearly part of the reasoning. If it's only 25, I didn't realize that was low. 25%, that means they want to wait and see if in a couple more months can they get those theaters open a little bit more. It's notably restricted ticket sales, making it virtually impossible for big budgeted films to turn a profit. Marvel films regularly cost over $200 million to produce. Postponed slate, including Marvel tie-ins, numerous during the pandemic. Studio has been able to witness firsthand how the U.S. market is recovering. Recent release Raya and its animated adventure geared towards family audiences for premiere fee. The release made $23.4 million in the U.S., 23.4, and then 71 globally. Modest, is saying it kindly. That would not do. 71 million would not be good for Black Widow. That would be a huge failure. Or Shang-Chi. It's true. Still, Hollywoods aren't betting against the summer movie season entirely. Disney rivals are hoping the general public will feel more comfortable returning to recreational activities. And honestly, I could see this changing. If the theaters open more and things got safe, I could see them saying, well, you know what? Let's put this strictly in theaters now. We're still early, right? They can make those decisions later. Putting it on Disney Plus is something they need to know probably a month or two out, but they could sort of change that if they wanted to, or up the price tag if they really want to be like, all right, look, let's make this $50 because we want people to really go to the theater first. There's a lot of decisions they could still do and play it safe and play it by ear if they need to. However, Paramount has moved up the release of Quiet Place from September to May 28th. We'll see if that sticks because this movie I hear is wonderful and a great theater-going experience. Universal marginally bumped Fast 9 from May to June 25th. Probably wise. So lots of moves happening here. Lots of things changing still. No word on Eternals. Eternals clearly then getting even more of a bump because that was supposed to come out, I believe, in November. So lots happening here. Now, again, it should be said, the fact that Regal made this deal with Warner Brothers is massive. This is a game changer, too, because who would have thought that? Warner Brothers changed the game when they announced this sort of day and date strategy, which everyone assumed Disney would do right away and then didn't. They offered the premiere access to sort of entice people to say, well, look, you can go to theaters or you can pay a little extra to see it. But when you go to the movies with a family, you're paying way more than $30. So it makes more sense for you to just do it on Disney Plus. Let's be honest, right? And theaters can't be okay with it. However, theaters don't have much bargaining power right now. They are desperate for content. As we were arguing at the beginning of all this, I remember having streams where we're like, come on, the movies need the theater chains. No, they clearly, eventually I think, yeah, it'd be stupid. They're losing a lot of revenue. But eventually, no, their game is we want to have it all streaming and have it all paid directly to us. No middlemen. Let's just get this done. And so the pandemic has changed a lot of things and will continue to change a lot of things. And theatrical windows now hugely changed. And now 45 days coming from the 90 days that it previously was is massive change. But it's good to see that Warner Brothers at least is acknowledging, yeah, all right, fine, let's meet in the middle. Used to be 90, let's do 45. Deal? Starting next year? Okay, great. Awesome. So Warner Brothers is managing to get away with the impossible. I think a lot of people were sort of Shocked. Christopher Nolan, etc. Not just us, but real filmmakers and actors were upset. But it seems like they're out there paying people, paying the talent, paying them like they did Gal and Patty for Wonder Woman 84 to make that shift. So all of this is big news. But to know that now Disney wasn't feeling comfortable to keep that May release date for Black Widow, it's a bummer. And it's telling because Disney's pretty good at paying attention and making sure they make their money. And it's clear, while they are not losing entirely faith, they're keeping Cruella there because I think they know it's not as massive hit as Black Widow is. They're keeping some things there to keep the theaters, here, have a little bit of this. The shift on Black Widow is a major news announcement, and we'll see. Does it happen again? It seems like things are finally coming back where it'd be insane. And I just don't know how much longer they can delay this movie. It's starting to feel very stale to me. I know a lot of people are excited and hopeful, but I don't know. I'm more interested in sort of Shang-Chi and Eternals, which we haven't seen a lot of. Black Widow, because they did the whole marketing strategy and everything beforehand, I don't know. I just feel like I've seen it. Does anyone else feel like what I'm saying? It just feels like, all right, cool. Yeah, didn't that come out already? And so they got to be careful. They can't keep promoting the movie over and over again because it'll start feeling old. And so they're in a tough bind here. I'm curious what you guys think, though. This is a little bit of a bummer. But I want to plug something before I go. Speaking of theatrical releases, Nobody opens in theaters this Friday. And I got to see it early, and I'm reviewing it over on Movie World, my second channel where I talk about movies, no drama over there, just movies. And I review my movies over there because sometimes these seemingly littler movies don't do well on this channel because you guys don't click. You only click on the drama. It is what it is. I'm not complaining. I'm just calling it out for what it is. But man, I really, really enjoyed this movie, and I'm not going to spoil anything about it. In fact, I implore you, don't spoil anything about it. If you don't yet know what this film is about, just go and see it if you can, or wait till it's streaming if you can't go to a theater. But man, it's a lot of fun, so please go check out my review and go support my second channel, Movie World, where I talk a lot about movie stuff like this. So if you're a fan of me talking about movie coverage and old movies and movie reviews, etc., that's the place to go find me. So while you're waiting, hit that subscribe here as well. Smash the like button and leave a comment what you think about this Black Widow news. This is pretty massive, big news. I want to hear your thoughts down below. And like I said, click that button on the left. If the Nobody review is not there, it will be. In the meanwhile, check out Movie World and hit that subscribe button there as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for more.